So today we're going to be talking about this new privileged mindset that has taken over the UFC. Now this mindset has been in the UFC ever since I've been watching it, but it used to be very few and far between, but now it's becoming a more frequent thing in the UFC. So we have got two options to go through today. Let's not waste any time. Let's talk about Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is a fan favourite. This guy is always in entertaining matchups. But Justin Gaethje's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, you mad rat, you mad snitch. He has said that Justin Gaethje has said, if I'm not going to fight for the title, I'm just going to hang up my gloves.
Bruh.
Now this is the mindset that I'm talking about that is plaguing the UFC nowadays. Now I like Justin Gaethje just as much as the next man. Justin Gaethje is always fun to watch. But hang up the gloves then. You know, if this is the mentality Justin Gaethje has now, retire. And the UFC need to not fall into the trap of just allowing this shit to go on. They can't pander to Justin Gaethje now. They can't go, well, if Justin Gaethje doesn't fight for the title again, he's retiring. Let him go. And like, the people that are demanding, that have this like privileged mentality, are always the ones that just don't deserve title fights anyway. Like Justin Gaethje, what have you done to deserve a title fight? You know, I could understand the likes of Arman Tsarukyan. I would still disagree with it because personally I just hate when fighters sit on their spot. But I could see a point why Arman Tsarukyan would be like, I am not fighting anybody else. I'm only fighting for the belt. I'm the number one contender. I've just beat Charles Oliveira. I am not fighting anybody else. I am sitting on my spot. I have earned it. I am number one. I am below the champion. Even then, I would be complaining about that. Even then, or I would be firing up the computer to make a RANT video on Arman Tsarukyan for playing that angle. But Justin Gaethje, what have you done that you deserve a title fight? You've already fought for the belt twice. It's not as if you're on a crazy win streak at the minute. You've beat Rafael Fiziev, who was barely ranked inside the top 15 when you fucking beat him at UFC 313. Who, may I add, Fiziev took the fight on short notice. And again, he made it really competitive with you. Now, Justin Gaethje did win that fight, yeah. But, so, because Justin Gaethje has somewhat of a name value, if he beats anybody inside the top 15, despite the circumstances, he should automatically get another title shot. It's absolutely crazy. Like, does Justin Gaethje, I know he's been hit in the head multiple times, but does he forget that the fight before Rafael Fiziev, he was kissing the canvas because of Max Holloway at UFC 300. He was slapped by Max Holloway at UFC 300. Does he forget that? Because I can guarantee a lot of people forget that Gaethje's last fight was Fiziev. I can guarantee you people will forget that his last fight was Fiziev, but people will remember, their most recent memory of Gaethje will be him being flatline KO'd by Max Holloway. It doesn't make sense. I don't get why. And do you know the thing as well? The UFC don't help because they do give these fighters false hope. Like Dana White at the post UFC 313 press conference was like, yeah, Justin Gaethje could be in line for a title fight. In what world? How? Surely I'm not the only one that thinks this. This is going to ruin the sport. If the UFC play into this, this will ruin the sport. Completely ruin it. Now, I have a slight suspicion that Gaethje will sit out, see how International Fight Week plays out, and then they will give him a title fight. That's what I think Justin Gaethje is waiting on to happen. I think Justin Gaethje is going to wait, see how Oliveira versus Ilya plays out, and the UFC are probably just going to fall in for this fucking threat of him hanging up his gloves and give him the title fight. Which is so undeserved. It's absolutely insane. The only person that should be fighting the winner of Oliveira, Ilya Topuria next, is either Arman Tsarukyan or Islam Makhachev. Gaethje should be fighting Paddy Pimblett next. That should be his next fight. Should be a title eliminator against Paddy Pimblett. Because, see, as of right now, Paddy Pimblett deserves a title fight more than Justin Gaethje.
Bruh.
People might not agree with me on that one. Paddy Pimblett is on a crazy win streak right now in the UFC. He's coming off 2 dominant performances against 2 ranked fighters in his last fight, or in his last 2 fights. He deserves it more. They should reward should be the word. They should reward these guys and girls that are on these big win streaks, that are constantly putting in the work, instead of these guys who have a bit of a following, they win one fight and then demand a title fight. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And I know they're gonna. I seen Ali Abdelaziz, who annoys the fuck out of me, by the way. Whenever he was, and I actually, do you know what? I know he's just trying to do right by his clients, but it'll just ruin the sport. If this happens, it just opens a can of worms just for this shit to just plague the UFC and really make it like the sport of boxing. Really, that is what's going to happen here. But anyway, I've seen interviews where they're like, well, Justin Gaethje deserves to get his title fight because he was meant to fight for the title and then he fought Max Holloway for the BMF belt. And he lost. No one forced him to take that Max Holloway fight. He wanted to go in there against Max Holloway. Bear in mind, Max Holloway was a 145 fighter moving up to take on Justin Gaethje, who I'm sure got a massive paycheck for that Max Holloway matchup, and he lost. So, because he was maybe in line next for the title before he fought Max Holloway, doesn't mean that he's still in line, because he's lost. So, he loses that, just like any other fighter would. It is crazy that this is the mindset that some fighters are picking up on in the UFC. I like Justin Gaethje. I would love to see a couple more fights out of him. But if this is what he's going to do, just retire him. I mean, Arman Tsarukyan is playing the right thing here. He's saying congrats on an amazing career. Enjoy your retirement. And the UFC should be doing the exact same. If you're going to be like this, there is no room for you in the UFC. The UFC cannot let Justin Gaethje get this title fight next, because it will ruin the UFC's whole system. If he fights for the belt next, it ruins the lightweight division. It shows that the rankings have no merit and it's just based on name value. The UFC should call his bluff. Just say, okay, you're not fighting for the belt next anyway. If that's your retirement, all the best. Wish you nothing but success, because I guarantee you he'll still fight. I guarantee you he's just calling your bluff. And don't get me wrong, Gaethje is a big name and he's a fun fighter, but he's not McGregor. If he retires, really, are the UFC going to miss out on anything? Absolutely fucking not. They're not. Moving on to the next scenario, Yair Rodriguez. This guy fucking pisses me off so much. This guy needs to be released right now. So Diego Lopez says Yair Rodriguez turned down a fight against him for UFC Noche in September. He says, hey Yair, just found out you got a call from Hunter denying the fight with me at UFC Noche. Where's the guy who was in front of me at the press conference? So Diego Lopez is on smoke. Diego Lopez should be rewarded. This is the type of fighters we need in the UFC. Guys that want to be in big fights. Guys that want to fight hard, tough matchups for them. Diego Lopez should be... his face should be on the fucking UFC PI or whatever it is. This is the mindset we need. Same with the likes of Volkanovski on there. Who else has got a good mindset? And do you know what? There's a lot of fighters that have the correct mindset, but it's people like this. And then Yair Rodriguez responds to Diego Lopez, I prefer to fight him in the street because a fight with him in the company does nothing for me. This here annoys me. You want to fight him in the street. I hate this gimmick. I hate the way that fighters do this. It's the same when Dustin done it. It's the same when Masvidal. They play like this fake fucking gangster. Fight him in the street. Why? How does that make any sense, Yair? No one's reading that unless you're fucking 10 years of age going, oh my god, he's so badass. Because it's not. You know, just say you don't want to fight him, man. And then the UFC can release you and send you to Misfits where you belong. You want to fight him in the street? No, you don't. You're just talking shit. a fight with him in the company does nothing for you. Maybe the main event of UFC Noche and you make a boatload of money in one of the biggest fights the UFC can put on this year. How about that, Yair? How about that, my boy? Yair Rodriguez. Oh, fucking look at his face. He's so fucking annoying. The UFC should re-release this guy. Get him gone. This mentality is plaguing the UFC. Yair, Gaethje, Ian Gary started doing it as well. There's multiple examples. Do not reward these people with title fights. Yair Rodriguez should be facing Diego Lopez at UFC Noche. If not, either release him, which nobody will miss him. I can assure you right now, nobody will miss Yair Rodriguez. If you don't release him, just don't let him fight. Have him sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then when he wants to make his return, when he's phoning up going, Hunter, where is my fight, man? Then you give him a new up-and-coming prospect that will absolutely fucking flatline him, and then you release him. Gaethje, UFC should put up a post on Instagram to say, enjoy your retirement, bud, goodbye. This shit's plaguing the UFC. They need to make examples out of fighters that are doing this to show this is not going to work. Ain't no way, bro. That video was kind of all over the place. You can let me know in the comments below. Do you agree? And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you again in the next one.